chance of this happening, but I might enter a flow state. And it just... Yeah, never mind, we're good. It just disappears. All of it's over. I don't remember doing any of this. So I grabbed the 3DS. Just in case I find that flow state and I start shiny hunting. While I'm fishing. Oh, wait. Ooh, snowstorm or full blizzard. Oh, they closed her work. You said healthcare, so damn. Oh, absolutely. I am slinging soda and snacks into my gullet. Yeah, I didn't want to... Okay. I didn't want to... As soon as I went to say healthcare, I was just like, I don't want to share somebody else's personal information, but... Yeah, no, that's intense then. That's level 3, isn't it? First time I ever totaled a car was in a level 2 snowstorm. And then I realized very quickly that if it's a level 2, you should just call out of work. It's probably going to be a level 3, and you don't want to be on the road when it becomes a level 3. Yeah. That's the one thing I don't miss about living back east. Although it's more of a northern thing than an eastern thing, because you could live on, like, in Florida and you wouldn't deal with that. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to use all of my brain power right now. I can't do multi-console. My brain's not built for this. I've got Dark Cloud with my main hands, and then I've got the 3DS in front of me now, and I can already feel my brain, like... Brr, 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 brr. But I'm gonna try it. I got it over here on the left. I'm gonna do some bonks. I'm bonking. Alright, first bonk. Please be wheezing! Oh, it's coughing. Okay. I wish I could show you guys. I don't have a camera, though. I should get a camera. I'm not sure if anybody cares about that, but you guys can see my face. I'll have to shave more. My body dysmorphia about my facial hair will come into full display. I like my face clean. Alright, cast, run away. Coughing's smoke ball allowed it to escape. Got away safely. You fled using the smoke ball. Oh, wait, really? Oh, I'm sad I didn't get to see it. Nice. So I will say, you're probably aware of this. You're hip. And I think it's Crystal specifically. Wherever you catch a Pokemon, it gets double friendship points. So you'll want to evolve that Zubat into a Crobat there. If you want to do that, that is. It's a pain in the butt. But you should also probably just have them in your party. I don't know if you have that, but while you're walking around the cave, you could just be working on those Zubats. Not trying to tell you how to game, but that's how I did my Professor Oaks. Whenever I had a friendship evolution, I always had them in the party. Always. Every step mattered to me. I know it's a 1 in 256. Is it 256? I actually can't remember how many steps it is. Oh shit, I forgot to adjust the number. Ooh, that's scary. That's a coughing. Second coughing. Oh my gosh, I would freak out if I got a shiny right now. You just got one? Trying to... Well... Oh yeah, because you're not actually, like, grinding outside the dungeon, so you haven't been making any berry money either. I've got mad respect for you, but, like... Yeah, all I gotta say is you should duplicate some funds, but I couldn't pass up on a shiny bat. That's just me, but I'm a single console hunter, so that's the difference there. I couldn't pass up on the bat. Yeah, so that's the difference. I wouldn't be able to pass up on the bat, but you have the choice to pass up on the bat. Which is funny because I can't pass up on the bat because I'm single console hunting, so like it means more, but at the same time I cheat, so I have Master Ball, so it's like I ain't losing the bat. I would respect you for passing up on the bat simply to save Pokeballs. I would absolutely respect that. I mean, you saw the bat. I wouldn't not believe you. I just have to say, from my point of view, Liberate Sprout Tower. I do need 2 more bats for the line, but I don't think it's going to be part of it. That's fair enough. Yeah, because it does kind of suck because you haven't been... Oh, it'd be so painful, but I was going to say you haven't been doing the berry loop. You grab Poison... Is it Poison Care? I actually can't remember what berry's which, but you grab the one below Faulkner. You run out the gate and you grab the one by the guy near Dark Cave. I think he gives you Nightmare. You grab that berry. You run down. You run back up by Mr. Pokemon. There's a berry there. I usually skip that berry, to be honest. And then there's the berry outside of... I want to call it Sandover Village, but that's fucking Jack and Daxter. What is it, Cherry Grove? Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Again, I have mad respect for you for doing all of that, because I did it on a single console without trading. But again, I duplicated for all my expenses. I did do the berry grind. But again, I was playing Crystal, so I didn't actually have to do the berry grind, so I've just been turning them into berry juice with Shuckle. Because I'm evil. Because I'm always constantly grinding. But now I'm done, and I'm literally just hunting Celebi, Mischievous, Weezing, Gloom, Staryu, and then Houndour. But I haven't even looked at Houndour or Staryu, like, at all. I really want to do Extreme Speed Dratini as well. I haven't done that, so I can still do that anytime. There's level, I think 13 or 14 Golbat in Mount Mortar, and that makes me want to get a Crobat really bad. Because I want to do a pink team with Celebi, which makes me sad that I didn't get Shiny Lugia, but again, I did the Professor Oak challenge, so like, whenever you hit like a legendary, you kind of stonewall yourself in the midst of your Professor Oak challenge, and it sucks. It sucks having a one-of-a-kind Pokemon be part of your dream team as well, because then you're like stuck there. Like, that's what I like. And Celebi's not even part of my dream team. It's just a dream Pokemon. I grew up playing Crystal for like 20 years. I love Crystal. It's my favorite game of all time. I love Crystal. And I've never been able to catch the Celebi. I caught it one time, and then like realized to get to Mount Silver, I had to beat the Elite Four, and it was going to save the game, and I realized it was my only opportunity to catch a shiny Celebi, And that's what sparked all of this. Was me realizing, like, oh, wait. This is my only shot for my first Celebi to be a shiny. So I reset the game. I didn't keep the Celebi I caught. I reset the game. And I decided I'd get a shiny one. And then I hard reset for 2 years. I hate myself. But it's okay. We'll lock in. We'll get it one day. One day there'll be like a YouTube or like a TV series that I fall behind on, and people are like, wait, you haven't watched blank? Dude, it's like actually how Game of Thrones should have gone. And it's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, you remember Lost? Like, imagine if Lost was good. And it's like, well, hold on there, bud. And then all of a sudden I actually have a show to binge watch for like 30 episodes. And it's like, you know what? Let's go for it. And then I'm probably going to catch Celebi in like the first 10 minutes and then like forget about the show. But it'll happen. It'll be cool. Oh, third Pokemon, coughing. I'm really bad at this. Holy crap. I literally forgot the 3DS was sitting there. Oh, man. Oh, so let me explain the fish as well. So, because I probably seem like just an absolute crazy person right now. The reason I'm doing this is to get the stats on the fishing pole to max. And that's because I'm superstitious, and I believe, and there's a little bit of proof of this, but I believe you have to have all 100s to catch the biggest fish possible. And the reason I want to catch the biggest fish possible is because when you catch the fish, and I don't have one so I can't show you, you can later translate them or transport them, translocate them, whatever the word is, to an aquarium, and then you can look at the fish. And it's like, ah, look how big my fish are. However, there's also 2 separate scenarios for these fish. You can turn them into the fishing contest, where an owl will weigh your fish and then give you points based on that. And then depending on how you do in the competition, you'll get a reward. And there's some really good rewards I want. Then there's also the Finny Frenzy, which is fish racing. Sorry, I was waving bye to my mom. Finny Frenzy is fish racing, and it doesn't matter what fish you catch, but again, the different fish all show up in the tank, so it's like you want to get the biggest fish possible, or the smallest fish possible, and then make that your racing fish, your champion. So I am looking to get all my stats to max, again here because that's the joke, like, why don't you level it up to max at the first place possible? And it's like, it's not funny anymore, but I'm gonna do it because I am the #1 Dark Cloud 2 fisherman. Actually, I'm just, I think, the #1 Dark Cloud fisherman. I don't hold any records, I think, for Dark Cloud 1, but like, I don't think anybody actually gives a shit about that game. There's only like 4 people who care about this game, but like, well, 4 others. There's 5, including myself. But that's still 5 more than Dark Cloud 1. Oh my god, come on. You can sit with me. Let me scoot the chair back. No. Because you chew on the cords. You chew on all the cords. You're so bad. Oh, dude, I have not been paying attention to my fish count. Oh, what are we at? I'm guessing that. Okay, good enough. Nope. I can mad respect it. Passing on the Zubat for the potential Dunsparce. Although, I gotta say, absolute mad lad if you're gonna go after the 1% Dunsparce or Teddy Ursa with 6 Pokeballs as well. Good stuff. Like, I want it for you. But like, that's exactly why I cheat. Oh yeah, I had so many Ultra Balls before Whitney. I was just getting them from what's her name? Bo? Bien? I don't actually know what her name is. Bien? Bono? Bobo? Bobo de Bobo? Bobo de Bobo? Oh, also, I'm playing on this thing called Retro Achievements, which is for emulators, and it keeps track of your fish records. Oh, wait, shoot. And compares them to other people, and that makes it really fun, too. That's my baby! Okay. Oh, fourth... Oh, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna turn the DS off. Because I can't pet my cat and play the Game Boy and try to catch a fish. And I'd rather pet my cat than try to catch a Pokemon. Alright, trying to catch a fish. She's gonna be mad about that. I'll pet you in a second. There. Oop. Look at that. Look at that. Dry, there's not enough room up here, baby boy. You're a sweet little baby, but there's not enough room in this chair. I'm not standing up right now. Are berries even worth 10 money? I feel like berries are worth 5 money. Maybe the unique berries are worth 10, but I feel like berries are worth 5. All I can say is I'm so excited to eventually play, and I don't know if you're going to do this, but when we play Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I don't know how that's going to go, but any game that I can have access to pick up, I am farming rare candies, bro. You cannot stop me. I know, every generation after Ruby and Sapphire, including Emerald, isn't as good. Don't care. They're free rare candies. It's free rare candies. I want them. I want as many as I can get. I just want them. And yeah, if at any point I have to do a hunt where I'm doing a repel trick or anything like that, yeah, obviously I'm not going to beat them up and, you know, try to get some rare candies. But yeah, if I'm in a situation where I'm just like running around, ooh, especially if I have like a synchronized Pokemon and I can just slaughter the Pokemon, and then like when I do see my shiny, I got that 50% chance to have the right nature. Is that in that generation? Is that in 5 and 6? Is that... when is that? I wish that was 100%. That makes me so sad. And it doesn't even work on, like, legendaries or something like that. Oh, God. Pokemon. Sad. It is too bad that there's, like, no way to... Oh, man, it would be... I was just thinking, it would be cool if I could take my Crystal VC and, like, actually hook it up to, like, stadium games. And it's just, like, actually my teams. Oh, that'd be fun. That was always the problem with Stadium, man, was you needed your own Pokemon. Because the rentals had the world's worst movesets. Well, not the worst. You had to use the unevolved yeah, God, it was a nightmare. I hated it. Oh shit, she jumped out of the chair and I didn't even realize it. But... excuse me. Well, that's annoying because I stopped playing Pokemon. Okay, I'm not turning it back on for a while. Maybe later. Probably not. It's split in my brain. I need to focus. Lock in. Get these fish in. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, where's my need? Oh, I don't have a water. That's the problem. Oh, I don't have any water. I have a partially drank water. I can get that out of the fridge. Oh, whatever, June. You can tear up... Okay, that's a tiny boy. 26 is the smallest one I've seen. When do you get the ability to rebattle people? I can't exactly remember when that is. All I remember is running around the map trying to get all the different stones. Is it right after the first gym? Dang. That is brutal. And it's crazy that I didn't see any shinies from doing this, but I just spent days just running from berry tree to berry tree, training up my Pokemon. Just harvesting berries. Until I had, I think, 99 of every type of berry. It was the, yeah, it's berry, berry, poison, para, and then bitter, I think. And then, I can't remember how many you need exactly, but, like, I sold all of them at one point. I remember doing that, and it felt so wrong. And I just remember, like, why am I doing this? But I was in such a fight with everybody on the Professor Oak forums about it, because I was just like, it's mandatory, like, you can't play Gold and Silver and just skip a Pokemon, like, don't play the games. And people are like, are you gonna do it? And it's like, well, I'm playing Crystal. And they're like, that's what we thought. And it's like, well, I would play Gold and Silver, but they don't have the Odd Egg, and they don't have the female character, and I'm doing a blue playthrough, and oh my god. So I just remember being so fed up with it that it was just like, you know what? I will do it. But I was also sitting there with like 5 copies of Mud Slap and like everything else, and it's just like, oh my gosh. Why am I like this? But I still stand by it. Like, I don't force it on anybody, but like, I just think if you're gonna play Gold and Silver, like, what are you worried about with Dragonite when you got fucking the Moonstone? But like, honestly, I'm so jealous. It makes me sad that Crystal doesn't have the Dratini. I wish it did. Oh man, I wish it did. Oh, the dream would be if it had Larvitar or something in the first area. That would be so cool. When I was younger, I created an entire Pokemon region, and the starters were Larvitar, Dratini, and Bagon. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but if you picked Dratini or Bagon, the rival always chose Larvitar, and like they were always slightly like just out-leveled enough so that the Tyranitar could outspeed your flying types in the end, and it was so cool. I think I've talked about this before. I don't know if anybody here has ever heard me talk about this. But I came up with Defog because you had to get to the Dragon Gym by surfing through foggy conditions, and when you left, you had the ability to see everything. And then Gen 4 came out, and I just remember being like, oh yeah, I'm great. Look at me. However, I made like countless predictions back in the day, and only 2 of them ever came true. The other one was that I predicted Kecleon, but my chameleon was rock and grass. And now that I'm thinking about it out loud, it was 100% stolen from Kingdom Hearts. Actually, I'd have to check the timeline on that. It might not be. Actually, did Kingdom Hearts steal from me? Mine was rock and grass type and like really slender and creepy looking. Nothing like Kecleon, but it was a chameleon. I have to check on that. Disney might owe me oh shit, man. Yeah, I never actually thought about that until somebody was like doing calculations on how rare the biggest fish are. Because I fished for like 12 hours before and never seen like a potential world record fish. So like the current standing is they're about a 1 in 10,000. So it's like very similar to shiny hunting. And you can also, again, you can breed the fish. I don't have an aquarium, so I can't show this right now. But you can breed the fish, and like the fish with the highest, and you're gonna love this, with the highest stats will pass on its color. And then there's like an entire chart in the guidebook that shows you the different combinations of what fish will result in what other fish. So like you can breed your fish with like larger fish to increase their average size, and then as you're doing that you can like try to keep them a certain species, or you can just get them to the size you want and then try to change the species. But there's so much to it. And as far as I'm aware, and I really care, I am the first person to... Oh, we're full. Okay, so it's time to get rid of some fish. As far as I am aware and care, is what I was saying, I was the first person to document every fish in every color, and it's on my Reddit. More specifically, it's on my subreddit that I made called Chronicle Fishing. I thought that was very clever. Sorry, I'm trying not to like spectrumize the fish. Not that that's a problem, but it just adds more time. Ugh. And basically you can breed whatever fish you want in basically whatever colors. And some of them are crazy looking. So like, I've done it before, but the dream is to, again, catch the biggest fish possible and then breed it in my favorite colors. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Actually, I know it'll be a lot of fun. But I did it on the PS2, and it was kind of grainy. Oh, dude, I have not been paying attention at all to how many fish I've been catching. I totally zoned out on that. That's a whoops. That is no longer accurate, I think. I have no idea. Oops. Again, the saddest part is nobody's ever caught a record-sized fish here, besides the Priscline. But again, there's a guy who has made Dark Cloud 2 and Dark Cloud 1 content for... Why did I say that? That's a weird way to say it. But he's made content for the 2 games for 16 years, I think. And it's kind of hard to discredit his fishing records when he's been recording himself fishing for so long. But at the same time, he just has no recordings of the other fish. He has his biggest fish recorded, but like other than that, he just has pencil recordings, like stuff he wrote down. So it's like it's kind of hard to discredit him, but at the same time, it's just like it really sucks that he doesn't have any recordings. But I count them. I more or less just see them as the limit. I assume that he was doing experiments with stuff and found a way to potentially catch bigger than average fish. Whether he was messing with clock stuff, or he was messing with code stuff, or he was messing with stats. Maybe he just caught them legit. I don't know. But he has caught such large fish that I haven't even come close to him. But at the same time, I've caught fish that he hasn't even come close to. So, I don't know. We really don't know. And it's really sad because I wish we did know. But I'm not smart enough to figure it out because I don't know how to look at the code of this game. So, I'm just going to keep bashing my head against a wall. And, yeah. We know quite a lot now from me bashing my head against the wall. And some other people have, you know, helped out. But we know pretty much the max and min size for every fish. Give or take probably 10 centimeters. We know every fish's size. The problem is, we have no idea how rare they are. Oh god, I thought I lost that fish. That was crazy. Oh, that is a tiny Baku Baku. He's adorable. So if I wasn't trying to speedrun this, I'm specifically trying to speedrun this, I would be going back to the main area and selling all of my fish for money and grabbing bombs from this guy who makes bombs. But since I'm trying to go as fast as possible, we're not doing that. I'm gonna grab another drink real quick. Delicious. Nothing like some cold water early in the morning. It's pitch black outside still. We got a lot of stuff to work on. I've got some glitches to practice still for the speed run. I got really good, really fast at one of the glitches. I cannot believe how fast I improved at it. I was even talking about just not doing the speed run at all because this glitch was giving me so many problems. And then just all of a sudden it clicked. We've got some of that stuff. I've got a bunch of stuff to just memorize for the speed run. There's so much stuff to memorize. I got this playthrough to actually start. We gotta finish this fishing though. I've got like 14 records to take. No, 13 records to take on retro achievements for fishing. Again, some of them are so high, man. It's gonna take me all this year to get them, and that's if I can get them. And the guy who has them just showed up to one of my streams the other day. He didn't type anything, but I saw him. I just so happened to catch him in the stream as I was ending. Because I finally learned how to see who's in my streams. I hope that doesn't make anybody nervous. I'm sorry if that makes anybody nervous, but... For like a year and a half, I didn't know you could see who was in your streams. Or in anybody's streams. I didn't know what that button did. I never bothered clicking it. I usually don't like to look because it makes me nervous if there's a bunch of people, but it's also really funny. I started looking because one time I was streaming, and I was streaming in, I don't know if anybody's played this game. It's kind of popular, but it's a little JRPG, Final Fantasy X. And I was fighting the Chocobo Eater, and I was trying to get the ending where you push the Chocobo Eater off the edge. You don't kill it, you push it. And I just couldn't do it, dude. It was making me so mad. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, it's one of those JRPGs where they just keep launching them out there to see if any of them stick. And it's, yeah. They use the same characters, same monsters, and then they just recolor them. They'll even do, like, the Beast of blah, 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 and then, like, Beast of blah, blah, blah 2. Stuff like that. Even, like, a Mark II kind of thing. But I was trying to beat this thing called the Chocobo Eater. I'm, like, real creative. I would call it, yeah, just a blatant ripoff, honestly. But I was streaming, and it was just like, dude, this sucks. Like, no one's in chat. The people I usually have to help me in Final Fantasy X, because I can't even, like, there's these, like, I don't even remember what they're called, but there's these, like, spiritual places where this main, I don't want to spoil too much, this main character is supposed to pray, and the puzzles inside made me so mad that I quit each time I got to a tower. So, like, the people who were normally there to, like, help me get through the towers weren't there, so I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I can't beat this boss. The people who normally help me aren't here. I'm done. So, like, I logged off, and when I was checking Twitch for the day, I checked my average viewer for, like, my streams, and I had 53 people watching. And it was like, wait, when? And I was, like, looking at it, and it was like, yep, at 2 a.m. when I started streaming Final Fantasy X this morning, out of nowhere, 53 people just decided to just watch me all of a sudden. I didn't get rated or anything. But it was just like, okay, I think I need to start checking who's here when I log off, because sometimes it might be worth just sticking it out. Now, has that happened any time since then? No, but, you know, it could. I might be throwing a hissy fit, and 50 people are watching, and I might as well just keep throwing the hissy fit. But, yeah, no, that was a big regret of mine. I could have fixed my terrible viewer average. Well, I guess I shouldn't have. By ending the stream right there, it kept the average high. But it was also really weird that people were watching me throw a hissy fit for so long. But, like, it was probably entertaining. Oh, dude, I was so mad. I get so tilted. And, like, I don't care. I'll just keep staying tilted. Usually until I complete the task. But sometimes I bite off more than I can chew. Ooh. Final Fantasy XII, another one of their games. Oh my god, they made so many. I think they're up to 16. And there's like doubles in there. They've got like 10-2, 13-2. There's like an 11-2 or something like that. That's a deep cut. Is it 11? Which one's the Reborn? I actually don't know that much about the Final Fantasy in that aspect. The old fantasies. The last of them. The last of their kind. I've only played Final Fantasy 12 and 15 to completion. Which, like, hilariously, and I don't judge me, but even by my own standards, is like not a real Final Fantasy fan. They're like two of the least Final Fantasy fantasies. But by God, they're my favorite. It's the freedom. You can actually like control a character and explore a world. I love it. Hilariously, Final Fantasy 12 has fishing, and I've never done it. But it's also terrible. So, you know. Yeah. But Final Fantasy 15 has the second best fishing I've ever experienced. Best fishing's obviously this. Probably third place would be Dark Cloud 3. Dark Cloud 3 fishing is basically Animal Crossing fishing. But like, well, you know, maybe Animal Crossing has better fishing than Dark Cloud 3. Probably. I shouldn't throw shade on it. Animal Crossing probably does have better. Animal Crossing does have pretty good fishing. But I don't know, does Animal Crossing have different sized fish? Like, yes, you can catch the whale shark, but like, are there different sizes of whale sharks? Oh, and there's that new web fishing game. That actually looked kind of crazy. You know, Charm. Charm plays a big role in games like that. And I was watching that game, and it had a lot of charm. Dredge does not strike my fancy. Dredge looks cool, but like, I feel like it's more story than fishing. But it does look cool. I don't like most fishing games simply because the best thing about a JRPG with good fishing is as soon as you're done with the fishing, you can usually go back to grinding. And then when you're done with grinding, you can go back to fishing. That's the best thing about Dark Cloud 2, because you have fishing, and then when you're done with the fishing, which is massive, you can thousands of hours in fishing if you want. Again, I've spent 600 hours, I think, fishing across multiple saves in this game, and I'm still yet to catch a perfect fish. Now, again, we don't know how, so, like, I'm kind of just throwing my time at the wall. But, like, as much time as you want. Fishing has as much time as you want. And then when you're done with that, there's golf. And then when you're done with the golf, there's time trials. And then when you're done with the time trials, there's the rest of the game. There's photography. The photography is terrible. Although every so often I do take a picture that I'm like, you know what, I do like this one. It's a tiny, tiny little picture. It asks you if you want to enlarge it. You can't really enlarge it very big, but it's fun. It's fun, it's cute. But like, it's just so good. It's so good. The fishing's so good. My two main fishing projects right now are still catching the perfect fish of any species. I would love to catch the perfect fish of any species. Now, catching a small species would make me sad, but I'd take it. I would happily take it. 61 centimeters is what we're looking for when I talk about small species, which is actually really funny. I made a speed run, so I'm not going to show this. If I'm actually able to finish this challenge and stay awake, I will show it at the end. But I just recently learned by watching somebody else's stream that when you watch the tutorial in this game on how to fish, the developers show them catching fish that are like unheardedly big. Like, again, if you count Pokemon Fan 4000's record, that like he doesn't have proof for, but he has written down, his records are 61 centimeters for the smallest fish, and the devs show themselves catching 60 centimeters. I personally have caught 59 for most of them, so like, it's not that I think 61's impossible. It's that I think 61's so perfect that it's like, it's just absurd. It's so perfect that like I have a hard time believing you wouldn't want to record it. That's where all my disbelief comes from. But at the same time, they might not also have known that that was the maximum and simply just, you know, wrote it down because it was like, oh, new PB. Unaware that they caught the perfect fish. And then the other blunder the devs make is for the fishing contest tutorial, they show the guy, Max, I should say just Max, but whoever's playing Max, they show them turning over a gummy. And a gummy is a small species fish, meaning, again, you're struggling to get 61 centimeters. The best we've ever seen. And the devs turn over a 90 centimeter gummy. And it's like, okay, that's just, it's too big, you guys. Like, you very clearly spawned that in with the dev tools. Like, you can't have a 90 centimeter gummy. But I think it's funny now, after all this time. But no, the guy who holds a lot of the retro achievement records fished while I fished. And they caught a lot of really good fish, which is crazy because they didn't fish as much as me. So like the fact that they hold so many records and fish less than me is just absurd. But like, there's only one way to cheat in fishing as far as I'm aware. And like, they would have held better records if they knew how to cheat. I also targeted the biggest fish in the game for a while, but like, it's still crazy. But I'm creeping up. I've taken a few records back. Again, the saddest part is when Pokemon Fan 4000 reappeared and said what their records were, I lost a bunch of records just out of nowhere. Because it was just like, yeah, I hold this record. I literally caught a record, a world record, as far as I was aware. I still have the clip up, where I yelled, new world record. And then if you go to YouTube, and it might be too old now, but you could go to YouTube and look at the date of a comment of when Pokemon Fan shared his Pokemon stats, his fish stats, and I was literally like a day or two off, like or ahead, off, whatever. But as far as I was aware, I had the world record, and then like a day later, Pokemon Fan was like, oh yeah, no, the record's 113 or something like that, and I had caught a 109, and it was just like, I was like, what do you mean I'm second place? Like, no. But again, the amount of stuff that they've discovered and shared with the community, it's like, it's almost impossible to believe that like they would lie about their fish stats. Come on. And then again, randomly, their other fish stats are just terrible. So it's like, I'm so inclined to believe that they're real, but it's also just like, why? Why would you not record them? Like, it just, that's the unbelievable part to me. But it might also be that they simply just fished all the time, and then like, one day just magically caught a giant fish, and then all of a sudden they were finally starting to record with like footage. I don't know. They're not a big talker, but I can also understand not being a big talker on the internet because people can be weird. I had a stalker for a while on the internet. That was a bad time. I just couldn't watch other streams because like they would randomly appear and just start getting weird. And the worst part is, it got bad. No, it got bad because like And, like, they've got their own things to deal with, but, like, we watched the same stuff, and we would run into each other, and they would just get mad. And then they'd get nasty towards me, and, like, they'd get banned for it. Because they'd get so nasty that they'd start swearing at me, and they'd get real nasty with their insults, and they'd catch a ban. And then the next time I'd see them, they'd be even angrier at me. And it just, like, it snowballed to the point where, like, I couldn't watch other people. And, like, it was pretty bad for a while. But finally, I don't even remember who it was, but I caught them in a stream where, like, they very clearly had a reputation as a nice person and they couldn't snap at me. And, like, I literally got them to pretty much swear to a truce that, like, I haven't done anything and you have to leave me alone. Otherwise, like, I'm blowing your cover right now. Like, fuck off. And they've left me alone since. But, like, that literally was the end of it. I don't even remember who it was, but I distinctly remember, like, teasing them for a moment and everybody being like, hey, knock it off. Like, we don't do that here. And just thinking, like, oh, wait, hold on. There's no fucking way. Do you know who this And it was just like, there was just this moment of, like, oh, hold on. You can be civil. You don't just have to be a fucking nasty person to me all the time. Oh god, I'm gonna have to actually delete fish if I wanna keep going. I don't want to get rid of my donkey. I had the dream of having an entire inventory of yellow. But no, they hated me. And their reasoning was goofy as hell. They thought I was a clout chaser. They thought I cheated to get my fish records because I use out-of-bounds glitches, and the devs did not what's the word? The devs did not expect people to get out of bounds, so the code's probably not good for fishing out of bounds, so my records shouldn't count. And then something else. We disagreed about something else over Dark Cloud, and it was just like, that was it. That's where everything started, and then they were real weird to me about something. I'm not going to bring it up, but that was where everything started. They caught a ban in my stream, and then every time I saw them in another stream, they got fucking weird and then nasty with me, and then they'd get banned again. And that went on for, like, dude, I don't even know, 6 or 7 months. And then somebody else got involved because they banned them and they stood up for me, and then they went after the other person. And I actually haven't seen that person stream in like a few months, so I don't know if they just gave up on their own and decided not to stream anymore, or if they went after... Oh, handsome! I figured that was a Baku, but that's a handsome boy. Shoot. Was that him? I'm hoping that's this one. Oh, crap. I don't know. Well, that sucks. I've seen actually 2 or 3 people get just harassed off of Twitch by chatters. I actually almost gave up on Twitch twice from chatters. It's wild because, like, I've experienced that side of it, and I've experienced a side of it where, like, somebody was very clearly, like, looking for contact, but, like, the moment contact had been made, they were just like, hey, check out all this hate. And it was like, goddamn, like, what the fuck? Ah, God, it's like, I'm tired of making fucking relationships on the internet. But that was the closest I came to just quitting and just being like, you know what? I am done streaming and sharing on the internet. Like, this is too much. But no, I streamed for like, I don't even know. Well, I say that, but I actually did take like 3 or 4 months off my first year of streaming because my mom broke her arm. Just so sad. I wake up and my goal is to spread love to strangers. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know. Yeah, I don't necessarily try to do. It's not that I try to spread hate or anything. It's like I wake up having a shitty enough day. I just try to have a positive. So like I try to leave everybody else alone, but like I do have a pretty strict, if you come into my stream and get weird, it's like, I don't have time for that. But like, yeah, no, it was not until I started streaming that I realized like how much people just look for like places to spread misery. It's true. Misery loves company. And it's wild. And it's not until you spend enough time on the internet that you're like, oh, holy shit. But my first experience with it was, and I was just saying this, my mom had broken her arm, so like I did take a big chunk of my first year just to like take care of my mom. But one of my first big time like chatters that showed up to every stream, was there when I started. I'd hit the like little start streaming button, walk over, grab my drink, pet my cat, and then sit down, and they'd already be in my chat. It was so wild, but I was playing Monster Hunter, and I didn't even catch it at first, but every time I'd get in a fight with a monster, they would just spam die into chat, like literally copy pasta style, die exclamation point over and over and over until I was done fighting the monster. And then one day they wrote, like, I don't remember exactly what the comment was, but it was just something along the lines of, like, one day you'll go down to the Bullfango and it'll be hilarious. And I was just like, wait, when you spam die and I'm in a fight, are you asking for me to die or the monster to die? And they just wrote you. And I realized this person who had been, like, waiting for me every day to start streaming had actually been spamming for me to die in these fights. And it was just like, oh. It was like, this fucking sucks. Like, wait. Are you just watching this so you can watch me get my ass whooped right now? And then, like, it turns out that, like, I'd worked really hard to do this challenge in Monster Hunter 1 for the PS2. And I'd finally, like, achieved the, like, my challenge, and I'd got it done, and I was like, have you watched me do the boss fight? And they were like, no. It took you, like, 20 minutes just to engage with the boss. And it was just like, oh, dog, I can't deal with this. It's just like, there's no way. Like, I had no idea that you were, like, maliciously telling me to die in every fight and, like, rooting against me. But, again, that was, like, my first big chatter ever. I think Lego Builder was my first ever chatter, and that was for Dark Cloud, and he was cool. But I only see him, like, once in a blue moon now. But I got my start streaming in Conan Exiles because when I got my PC, I totally forgot to get a capture card and a HDMI to, what is it, the AV splitter or whatever it is, so I could stream PS2 stuff. So, and I didn't know how to do emulator. So I just streamed Steam stuff, and the only Steam stuff I knew how to stream was Ark and Conan Exiles. And looking back at it, I could have done Final Fantasy 12, but I had that on the I had a bunch of games on the PS2 that I was ready to stream, and I was just not going to stream them on Steam because I didn't want to give Steam my money. But I actually started streaming Conan Exiles, and that was my big thing. But Funcom decided they were going to update everything, and they completely changed the level up system for the game, and it completely just ruined everything for me. It sucked. It sucked so hard. The entire meta changed. Oh, it sucked so hard, man. Just overnight, my like best performing videos just stopped getting views because they were useless, because they changed the entire level up system for the game. And it was like, damn, bro. But I think by that time I had started streaming PS2 stuff, and I don't know if I'd gotten into fishing yet, but when I got into fishing for Dark Cloud 2 and doing like 12-hour streams, that's when my channel took off. However, at the end of my main fishing career, I'm back, baby. In my main fishing career, it got real ugly. Real ugly. And I was basically out to spread as much hate as I could to the Dark Cloud 2 community, because I realized some very sinister things within the Dark Cloud 2 community. Oh, I shouldn't say the Dark Cloud 2 community, but the Dark Cloud community itself. It's very cliquey. It's wild. It's so... I don't even want to get into it because it makes me, like, so negative to talk about. Or as I talk about... I don't even know how to say that. It just makes me nasty. But, like, the people who are popular within the Dark Cloud 2 community stick to the people they like and who are also popular. There isn't much, like, hey... check out this person, watch this person, go look at this person. And I could do a better job of that as well, but like, I spend most of my free time in other Dark Cloud 2 streams, just hanging out. So I could talk about other people more, but I feel like I talk to other people as much as I can. But like, it's so weird. Again, there's people who've been making content for this game for 20 years. And it's just like, there's no weekly best golf shot of the week. There's no best fish caught. There's no this. There's no... It's just so weird. But again, the more you get into the community, the more you realize, like, all of the speedrunners, they all hang out together. And if you're not speedrunning, you're not really chatting with those people because that's what they do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, once you go, like, to the other side of the Dark Cloud 2 community, you realize it's just mostly, like, talking about playing the game and like how it was fun and so nostalgic and a big part of your childhood. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, once you get to Twitch, that's where everybody's like, oh, what's your favorite way to build up a weapon? How do you do this? How do you go about that? Oh, where's your favorite time to get like this weapon? And it's just like, it's so segmented and cliquey that it's like, why? But I'm trying to get over that. People are allowed to be the way they want to be. I'm negative and angry and spiteful, but I don't have to be that way. I'm not going to stop being that way, but it doesn't have to be the way that I am all the time. Now, you show up to my chat and you tell me that my fish are small, I'm swinging hands. I hate that. That happens. Not often, but... I'm still angry. It happened the other day on my my post about my best time ever in that dungeon. I was bragging about how I got a 55-second time, and somebody was like, it took me 5 minutes to beat your time. And it's like, no, it didn't. Why are you people like this? Why you gotta rain on my parade? But again, if I was actually that hateful and negative and against everything Dark Cloud, I wouldn't share this. It's not like I make money. I share this because I think I have something worth sharing and I want to share it. And over the last 2 years, I've seen that people like what I have to share. However, I do need to work on the way I present it. I do need to work on editing. Although I think a big thing about editing is I have to learn how to either, I don't even know if this is possible, but remove my voice layer so that it's just audio. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. You could just take, I wonder if people do this. Do people just record stuff, like stream it, then mute it, and then go back into the game and record the music, and then just put that music over the footage that they were streaming so that they don't have their voices talking over it? Dude, that makes sense. Is that what people do? That's so smart. I always just assumed... Oh, yeah, okay. I feel dumb. I just assumed people didn't record with... Or they, like, fucking, like... Don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. I always... Okay, that's crazy. I always wondered how people got such good footage. And it's just like, damn, did they go back and do that whole grind? Not talking? Like, whoa! Oh, I feel so dumb. I still don't have any editing software to do that with, but... I really want to make tutorials for this game on how to fish, but, like, again, I still don't know how to fish. I think when you load into the game, there's, like, something determined. Like, two numbers, 2 letters, 2 integers, I don't know what it would be. Something's determined, and then something else is determined when you load into the dungeon. And I think whether you're going to catch a big fish or not is determined before you even get to the water. However, I don't have proof of that, and I don't want to make tutorial videos on how to catch fish until I know how stuff like that works. Because, again, I fished for like 12 hours and not seen big fish. And then, like, other times I've fished for like 4 or 5 hours and I've seen so many big fish that people are like, dude, you're cheating. Not like seriously, but it's just like, okay, bro, yeah, like, I'm sorry I beat your record 5 times today, but like, pretty crazy. So, and yeah, that's what I was thinking, but like, and this is what made me think of it, but for like fishing, it would actually not be too difficult to like sync up the like the sound if I was doing like a fishing tutorial. It also wouldn't even be that hard to like get all the footage for a fishing tutorial without talking, but you know, it's always easier. Like a fishing tutorial, I think is the first thing that I want to make because I believe that I know enough to make one, but I'm just missing that last piece of information. I want to be able to confidently tell people either like, hey, just stick it out and eventually you'll catch the fish. Or like, hey, if you catch 5 fish and none of them are big enough to like clear the level, don't catch any more fish. Reset the level. Because that's what I do. But like, I don't want to tell other people that and then 4 years from now they look in the code and they're just like, yeah, that's bullshit. That dude's huffing paint. And it's like, damn it. How'd you know? But... Although there are some glitches that I do want to do tutorials with my voice specifically, because the guy, Pokemon Fan 4000, who did the glitches originally, did them all with just text, and like, he doesn't show all the bullshit that can, he just shows you how to do the glitches, which is cool. I love it. But like, sometimes you can get stuck, and then you have to quit the level and try again, and he doesn't show that happening. And I would like to make tutorial videos where like I show you how to get unstuck, or if you are stuck, like how to better not get stuck, and stuff like that. And you know, hearing someone's voice explain that is a little bit better. Not always. You don't always speak the same language, but you know, can't really help you there. You might as well watch the other guy's video But I could at least show you how to get unstuck, and maybe you can figure it out from watching my video. But no, it's not like even that I'd be copying his videos, because again, there's a bunch of like, oh my god, there's one time I was trying to watch one of his videos and like replicate the glitch, and I got stuck in a tree, and I got so mad. But I was just like, why would you not warn people of this? And then like in the like comments or something like that, he warned somebody, or like it was in like the description of the video, he warned people of getting stuck in the tree. And it was just like, why would you not put that in the video? So like I had to like reset the whole level, and then I had to spend like another 2 days trying to get like the fucking circumstances for the glitch to line up. Oh my god. I ended up learning an entirely different way to do the glitch just because it was so aggravating. Oh, we're almost full again, aren't we? Yep, look at that. Exchange. All right. Over halfway done with grip. Now again, nobody really knows what any of these stats do to the fish. And nobody really even knows what some of the stats do for, like, just anything. We know resilience helps reel in the fish every time you hit X. We know that for sure. We know strength helps every time you follow the arrow. We know flight increases how far out you can cast. Grip and luck, nobody knows. It's believed grip helps with frequency of bites. So I level up resilience because it helps me reel in faster. So more fish over time. Now, and I haven't always done this, now I go for grip. That way I can get more bites. But again, we don't know if that's true. I might be wasting time here. However, and here's the kicker. Nobody knows what luck does. So it's completely a potentially wasted stat. Flight allows you to cast out further. And we believe, a lot of people believe this, that flight allows you to catch larger fish. It doesn't make the fish bigger, it allows you to catch larger fish. They enter the pool, so to speak. That's a baby. However, here's why I'm not doing that. And it could be worth it, because I might be getting more points. Every time you go to cast, you have to cast out further. You actually have to press the analog stick to choose to cast out further. And I'm going to be catching hundreds of fish. So that's going to add a lot of time. Not a ton of time, but a chunk of it. And I don't know if the fish are going to be bigger enough in a way to compensate for it. So grip was the obvious choice in this situation, because I don't know. It seems like we're catching more fish. I don't know if we are catching more fish. It seems like it. I would actually have to go back and check the frequency of how many I was catching per minute. But again, I'm not going to be able to actually pull this off and do stuff like that. That's for another day. I'm going to do that experiment another day with save states and cheat codes. Right now, the goal is to speedrun a rod to max in Furbit fishing hole, because I don't know if anybody's ever done this. I'm sure somebody at some point in this game's history has grinded a fishing rod to maximum here, but I'm guessing never in one sitting. Maybe they have. I'm guessing and never in one sitting. Again, it's not even optimal. There's better ways to do this. However, it's free. So this is the earliest point you can do it. If you wanted to do it later, you would have to pay for the bait, and the bait's expensive as hell, especially for how many fish you have to catch. I put bait on, right? Am I just having one of those weird moments where I don't catch anything? There we go. But again, these fish are not great. If you make it to the ocean, your average fish is like 50 something. You can also fish at the river in the main town, and the average fish is like 50 as well. But it's like the only fish you're gonna catch. The other fish that you can catch it's like 30 to 50 on average, but it can be up to like 80 to 100. Just like the fish in here, the priscline. But the other fish that you're more likely to catch is like always 50 to 100. So you level up faster there as well. But again, I've had this hanging over my head ever since I first started doing these fishing challenges. Because it's just like, why not? Why not? Like, it's the best challenge. It's the first time you can do it. It's the ultimate OP early fishing rod challenge. But yeah, it is not efficient to do it this way. Damn, dude, we're not catching one again. This is not a good day. That's another thing. Like, there's days and time for the game. Like, it keeps track of your date and time. I don't even know if that affects it. That might affect the fish you catch. There might be bad days. We know there's bad times according to the guidebook in the game itself, but, like, how much does it matter? Can you not catch the biggest fish unless it's the right time? Alright, I gotta re-reel. This is not good. Oh, I'm just sitting there with an empty hook. I'm an idiot. Oh, bro. How long was I sitting there? Embarrassing. Wow. That's pathetic. Oh, and I threw away a Baku Baku. I didn't want to do that, but, you know. Oh, stop. I'm losing my rhythm. Oh, no. Oh, I've lost my rhythm. Don't look. Oh, it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I do actually want to go through and catch. And this is kind of hard because there's, well, I wonder if does Retro Achievements keep track of Dark Cloud 1 fish? Oh, if it keeps track of Dark Cloud 1 fish, I might be going back to Dark Cloud 1 to catch some records here soon. Because there's no fishing rod to level up in Dark Cloud 1. So, like, you just catch the fish. You can also see the fish in Dark Cloud 1. You can't see what fish it is. They all have the same sprite in the water. But you can see the fish and how big it is in the water. So, like, you just keep resetting the pond until you see giant fish, and then you try to catch the giant fish. But there's, like, no mini game. It's like Animal Crossing, where you just try to get, like, a bobber in the water, and then it does a little animation, and then you pull the fishing rod, and yeah. But the fish are actually bigger in Dark Cloud 1. It's crazy. The fishing's actually better, too, is, like, an in-game thing, because you can trade your fish points directly for, like, rewards. Whereas in this game, your fish points go to leveling up your fishing rod, and then you have to, like, level up your fish to win races, or you have to turn the fish over forever to win, like, the contest for weight. And that's only every 10 days, or it's every 7 days, and it lasts for 3 days. So like this game, you just fish for fun. But Dark Cloud 1, you actually fish for like game progression. But the fish are bigger. But again, there is no mini game, so you're just kind of like just collecting the fish. But I didn't even think about that. It'd be cool for retro achievements, because again, it's not even that I'm necessarily trying to compete with people, but it would just be nice to know what other people have gotten. Depressingly, the guy who data mined the game didn't share all the fish sizes. He only shared the 3 biggest fish. And it's like, thank you for doing that, but like, what about the other fish? But that's part of the fun. I don't like the not knowing in the end, but I think some of the fun is discovering. But again, it's not fun in the end to just not know. And that's where I'm at with this game. I've fished so much that we think we know how big every fish gets, but like, we'll never know until we have the code. There is a way to hack in or cheat in fish. I'm not sure how you do it. I'd love to learn how to do it, just to simply like practice my fishing skills. And to prove that like it's not possible to catch the biggest fish possible on certain rods, because like the biggest fish in this game kick so hard when they fight that like I just don't think you can. I think you have to have like really high stats to catch them. But again, I can't really prove that without losing the fish and pushing the limits of like, I guess I did lose it. And I'm not going to push the limits whenever I catch a fish that big. There's just, no. It's not happening. I lost a decent-sized 100-centimeter fish today, and I was pretty sad about it. I'm never risking a 150-centimeter plus on an experiment unless it's like, yeah, no, this is a fake fish. I'm going to keep catching this fish until I choose not to catch this fish. But I don't know how that person did that. They even changed the model size of the fish, because they found that there were like unused models in the game, and they spawned the fish in that they caught in the new models. And hilariously, I did end up finding where those models come from. They are unused, but I still have no idea how that person did all that stuff. They were quite secretive. Oh, fish. Okay, I've taken like 20 minutes worth of break. And then I think I said I wasted like 20 minutes worth of gameplay. And then it took me 40 minutes to get here. So it's like an hour and 20 minutes of bad time. And I said this was going to take me 3 hours per segment, so like 15 hours. So at the 6 hours, so at the 7 hour and 40 minute mark, or 7 hour and 20 minute mark, I should have 2 100s. Worst case scenario. Anything better than that, we're looking good. But the 7 hour and 20 minute mark, so 1 hour and 20 minutes from now, I should have grip at 100. If I don't, things are looking bad. If we get grip to 100 in the next hour, we're looking good, and that means things are definitely speeding up. And with grip at 100, things are going to speed up even faster because bite frequency, or the fish are going to get bigger because grip makes them bigger. I don't know. If it does nothing, it's just another stat down. Oh, I never finished talking about this. Strength is the only stat that we have basically proven to be useless when actually spawning big fish. Pokemon Fan 4000 and myself have both caught 170 centimeter fish with strength less than 10. And that's just absurd. Because those are like the biggest fish anybody has ever caught. And then to have a stat still be below 10 and like snag one of those fish, it's crazy. But we've more or less proven that that stat is not necessary. Which is funny, because when you look at the stats, it specifically says that strength is necessary for getting the big... Or what's it say? We'll look here in a second. Necessary for reeling in the big ones. But, like, we've pretty much proven that it's unnecessary for hooking them. And again, what strength does is it makes it easier on the rod every time you follow the arrows, which does help. But it's not necessary. You don't have to follow the arrows to catch fish. So, like, strength is the stat that you should do last. Because even if luck doesn't do anything, it hasn't been proven to be useless. Whereas strength pretty much has been. So, I'm actually not sure which stat to do next. Because again, flight, we do believe flight increases the size. It might be smart for me to do flight next to make the fish bigger. But I'm not sure if making the fish bigger is going to save enough time to compensate for the extra little bit of casting out. Because that extra little bit of casting out is going to stack up, because I did quit keeping track of how many fish I've caught. Because it was frying my brain out faster than I had time. I would have loved to keep track of that, but it was killing me. But by the end of this, I'll have caught like probably 700-800 fish. And yeah, if I start casting out for the next 500 fish, an extra little distance, that stacks up. See, I haven't taken any notes in a long time, but I have maxed out... Oh god, this might be fishing rod 7. I've done it. And like, my very first streamed playthrough, I got my luck to 100, and that's when I met those people. I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but I met 2 people who were doing a 12-hour fishing stream. And I was like, all cocky and like, yeah, I caught a 103 centimeter gobbler. And they were like, that's pretty good. We believe the maximums, blah, 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 blah. But that puts you in the, oh, you're in the top 10 percentile. And I just remember thinking like, what did you say to me? Like, what? And the guy streaming was like, yeah, this is my first playthrough and I just got to fishing. And it was like, what do any of these stats do? Because they're not really descript, and when you look online, nobody can really agree. And I just had this moment where it was like, oh shit. Like, I actually, well, I don't want to be wrong. I just leveled luck. And they're like, we can't tell what luck does. Well, that was a weird sound. I just heard a weird beat. That was crazy. That was like a weird audio combination or something. But like, I had just maxed my luck to 100, and the biggest fish I had ever seen in my years of playing this game was 100 centimeters. And it was like, I was so proud of it. And then I met these people, and they were like, yeah, that's pretty good, but, like, the fish get really big. And it was like, oh, dear God, like, what? So I spent, like, the next week just grinding fish with these people. And, like, I did mention this earlier. That's where I basically got, like, my following going for this streaming, this platform, was fish grinding. But... oh my gosh, we grinded so much, and we still have no idea what the stats actually do, or if they're necessary, and catching the biggest fish, or if it's all just placebo. One of the people was convinced it was placebo and like the stats didn't matter, and the reason that you don't catch big fish is because they're that rare. The only reason you think the stats matter is because you're leveling up the stats, catching more fish, and then eventually you see that record size fish, and it took that long. But again, to test that, you would have to fish for hundreds of hours with an unupgraded rod, and then we are almost certain that like if you hooked one of the biggest fish possible on an unupgraded rod, even with save states, you couldn't catch it. You'd be screwed. You'd have just screwed yourself out of the perfect fish. So it's just like, nobody really wants to subject themselves to that. And then on top of that, I have this theory that the reason some of the record-sized fish have never even been seen is simply because nobody grinds their fishing rod to 100, and because of that, the average player simply can't spawn the biggest fish. So, like, not only are they rare, but the average player doesn't even have the, like, prerequisites to see them. But again, we don't have solid, concrete evidence to call it yes or no. Wow, I just, like, smashed 9 words into a conglomerate. But again, I actually like fishing and doing all this stuff, and I like gambling and games. I'm finally cool with saying that. I don't like gambling. I have like a weird thing about spending money and losing money. Now, cards? Yeah, baby. All day. But like, dude, 3, maybe. I'm confident in saying 1 lottery ticket in my life, but 3 lottery tickets maybe have been bought by, like, by me, for me. I don't like lottery tickets. But man, do I love gambling and games. And I guess that's something, and probably in all cultures, but I guess it's really big in Japanese culture to test your luck. And I feel like that's what I do, is like, I'm constantly like, damn, how's my luck today? All right, we're going outside. How's my luck today? Ho, 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 not leaving bed. But no, I have done luck to 100 first to see if the fish get bigger. I've done resilience is my favorite because, again, we know resilience helps you catch fish faster, easier, and if you do hook one of the record-sized fish, it makes it possible. It is the most important stat in catching the biggest fish possible. So it has become my number 1. I'm also convinced that it makes the fish heavier, but it doesn't make the fish longer, so you catch consistently bigger or heavier fish, but not necessarily longer ones. So I think it is the most helpful stat to level up first. Again, I don't have proof of that. I have a lot of evidence, but no proof. Just a theory. I've leveled up flight first, but that just led to a situation where I was hooking big fish and I couldn't reel them in quickly. And I couldn't tell if it was like I was catching bigger fish all the time, or if like it was increasing like just a little bit or what, because again, I hadn't upgraded my resilience, and it was like, damn dude, these fish are scary. So like I've only done that once, and I don't like doing it because I feel like that's the situation where you set yourself up to see the biggest fish possible and not have enough resilience to catch it. I've never done grip first, and I've never done strength first. But again, I think people trick themselves into getting strength and luck enough that I can basically prove that those stats are not the ones you want to do. Because I was talking to somebody recently who was like adamant that luck and strength were the best stats to invest in. And I eventually got this person to admit, and it feels bad even saying that, but I got this person to admit that they had never caught a fish over 100 centimeters. And it's like, okay, that just tells me that, like, no matter how much you've grinded, luck and strength are not the stats to go for catching big fish. It's like, if you swear by them, but also swear that you've never caught a 100 centimeter fish, it's like, that's not good. That's not good. but I'm honing in on a feeling. And that feeling is resilience, grip, and then I'm not sure what the next... Again, flight is the next one. It should always be... Flight should be second. If we can't figure out what grip does, flight should be second. But again, for speedrunning purposes, I actually don't know if flight's good, because it's going to add more time. I might do it simply because... And this is full circle. I'm a bitter, petty, resentful person, and I would just love to make luck and strength the last two that I do, because I'm petty. But at the same time, it might be smarter to actually do luck over flight, because if luck does help, I would be saving more time because I'm helping myself and I'm not casting out further, adding more time. So it's like, damn. Do I do luck or flight? I think I'm gonna do flight because, again, I'm 80 or 90% confident that it makes fish bigger. And since I've done resilience, which makes them heavier, I should be catching big-ass fish. Not all of a sudden, but, like, we've seen 3 nonki that were 110 centimeters or bigger. But if I max out my flight, I can almost guarantee by the end of the night, we see something that's 120 plus. I don't know if you can see 120 plus before you have flight and resilience up. I've caught a 116 twice now on low-end stats. I think that's the biggest you can catch with the lowest amount of stats. Again, I don't have proof of any of this, but I have fished for, I think, 600 hours. Damn, 27.19? That's tiny. Ooh. Almost worth keeping and paying attention to that, but I'm not going to. I would, but I know that smallest fish is actually something other people care about. And I kind of leave things here and there because they overwhelm me. And I also have this weird belief that if I leave the gauntlet on the ground, somebody will pick it up one day. But also, if you're going to breed the smallest fish ever, Mardans. My record is an 18 centimeter. So, like, don't start with 27 when you could potentially start with 20s. If you're going to try to breed the smallest fish ever, you want to start way small. Don't start too big. No point in working down from 27 if you can start with a 20 or lower. If anybody ever is watching this in the future or the past, because time is wibbly wobbly, don't be afraid to try and set some records in fishing. I once watched somebody beat my record for the Priscline, which is one of the fish I'm catching now, in 3 hours of fishing here. Because they were a new streamer. Their name's Fubuki Shinko? It's Fubuki Shinko or Fubuki Shinko or Fubuki Shadow. I think it's Shinko. But they're a VTuber, and they were fishing here because they were like, I'm going to get my stats to max. I'm going to do it. And they'd grinded here for like 3 hours or something like that. 4 hours. Something crazy. And they ended up beating my record for the Priscline. They caught an 89 centimeter Priscline. And it was so cool. I remember watching them stream, and I was shiny hunting. It was so much fun. Because I was just dumping information. And then I went to the bathroom, and when I came back from the bathroom, the chat was just spamming. And there on the screen was this massive Priscline. And they were just waiting for me to come back. And it was just such a cool moment. But I swear they ended up fishing until they got a 100 in resilience, and then they left. But it was such a cool experience. However, every time I get somebody to do something like that, it ends up burning them out to the point where they end up dropping the game completely, or they never touch fishing again. And I kind of feel bad for it. I did it to one streamer who, like, they got so into it, and, like, I was so happy watching them get into it, but, like, they haven't touched the game in months. And, like, I don't know if they want to, but, like, I don't know. I like sharing it with people, but I also feel bad now, because I've seen 2 people get burned out and not finish the game because of it. And it's like, ugh. Am I the bad guy? Good day. I really, honestly, do not like this save file. I've lost 2 fish. I've messed up here and there. I don't like some things. I had a bad time getting here. But I feel good today. I'm guessing my electrolytes are balanced. I guess I'm pretty hydrated. I got my chapstick. I feel good. People are hanging out. Oh god, what's going on? Losing good. No, I'm kidding. And I should be able to complete this within the time allotted. But, yeah, normally I would quit. I would not keep this. Losing 2 fish? Oh, God. But I am learning to adapt. That is something I'm learning to do. And on top of that, and this is kind of the dirty secret, it's been so long since I've set the record for largest fish. Or, not largest. I've just recently caught a giant fish. Wasn't a record, but I caught a giant. It's been so long since I've set the record for longest fish ever that I'm kind of suspicious that, like, not missing fish is important. Because on every playthrough since I've gotten into, like, hardcore fishing, I don't miss a fish. If I miss a fish, I will reset to my last save because it's like, no way, bro. Perfect save file. You can't miss a single fish. The perfect fish won't show its face to a lesser man. But, like, I'm honestly kind of wondering if, like, maybe that's bad. I don't think, like, missing 10 fish in a row summons the perfect fish or anything, but, like, I don't know, man. I am so superstitious. It's crazy. Again, the guy who has made videos for 15 years held the record for, I think, 12 or 13. I'll have to double check. But he held the record for a long time. And his record was 176 centimeters. I streamed for, I think, 36 hours over 3 days. Or no. I think I said, I have a comment. I literally have a comment where I was bitching about it because somebody called me out. They were like, you just got lucky. And it was like, bro, I streamed 36 of the last 100-something hours. I can't even remember what it was. I'll have to look. Oh, it was probably a 4-day weekend. But, like, I beat the record, the 12-year standing record, after fishing for, like, 3 days of a 4-day weekend. And that's a beautiful one. I have not come close to that record since. And again, I have fished for hundreds of hours. And I caught the current record in the first 36 hours of me dedicating a year to this, like, nonsense. It's so absurd how lucky I did get that I'm still convinced that, like, it's not even necessarily luck, it's just unfair. That, like, again, it's still luck, I get that, but I think it's gonna be one of those things where we discover that it's like, yeah, dude, it's only on, like, even months on the 3rd week of 31-day months where, like, at noon you can catch the biggest fish possible. But, like, it's a 1 in 20. And it's like, wait, what the fuck, bro? And it's like, yeah, it uses the PS2 internal clock, and then it uses the game clock, and then again, it has to be the right day and time, so, yeah. There's also the possibility that where I'm standing matters, because the guidebook mentions where you cast out matters, and when you watch the tutorial video in the game, it says when you're done picking a good spot to fish from, which is awfully suspicious. And, like, RNG very well could be determined by where you're standing, where you're looking. It's crazy. And again, I get that it's luck, but, like, I think it's so lucky that it's, like... I don't know. I don't even know if you can call somebody lucky for it happening to them, because... Again, you still have to try. Even if you did get lucky and you hooked the fish, you'd lose it, because you have to grind to 100. So, like, you not only have to get lucky to not see the fish early, you have to see it at the right time. And then, again, see it at all. It's crazy. I truly need to go back through my fishing records one day and, like, write down every fish that I saw in one of my grinds when I caught the biggest one. And just try to figure out the math on it, because... And I probably only spent like 200 or 300 hours fishing for the Kaji at max stats with the lure rod. But even then, if I figured out the size and the weight for all of those fish and compared them, I could probably determine that the record size fish is like a 1 in blank, a 1 in this, a 1 in whatever. And that would be really cool, but again, I'd have to go through hundreds of hours. And I might do that. The last time I did that was when I was celebi hunting. So, you know, I might do it again. But I'm gonna be honest with you, watching my own videos and taking notes is like... It's a really weird experience. Especially like hundreds of hours of my own videos, because it's super vain feeling, but at the same time I'm trying to do research, and then it makes me not like myself, because I'm like, damn, if I'd have just done this while I was doing it. But as you saw, I have attempted to do it while I was doing it, and it just stresses me out. So it's like, I can't do it, but I know future me is going to be mad about it. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Fucking June just snuck up and put her nose against my ankle, and it scared me. Oh my god, my room's like 80 degrees, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt and sweatpants, so I'm cooking. And her nose is so cold. Do you want to... Where are you hovering? Oh, no, she left. She's already left. Probably me yelling, Jesus Christ, got her to leave. I wonder if I glitched up onto the log, it would let me fish next to him. I can't glitch up onto the log without cheats, and I don't have cheats on right now. But I've never thought about that. I wonder if I can fish next to him. That'd be fun. Again, there's no reason to fish, although I am standing in my favorite spot because you can see all 3 furbits. There is no reason to fish here because, again, as far as I'm aware, nobody... Oh, run. Too far. Nobody has ever caught the biggest fish ever here. Which is sad because this is the first place you get the fishing rod. So, like, I think it'd be hilarious if, like, the fish were just massive. And it's like, God damn it! Stop! And you had to come back here to catch fish. Because it's called Fish Monster Swamp. Now, I'm not going to spoil why it's called that. But... I will spoil that it's not because of the fish in this pond. Although, Fish Monster Swamp is technically to our left, and this is the Furbit fishing hole, so, like, they are different fishing ponds, so yeah, you know. But, no, yeah, again, you can just progress 2 chapters ahead and get to the ocean, and the fishing is hours faster. You will finish hours faster. Again, it takes you like an hour to get there. Like, it takes the average person a few hours to get there. Several hours. So it would not be faster. But if you're a speedrunner, it would take you like maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get there if you use the ride pod. Maybe, probably 30 minutes. And then you're ocean fishing. The best fishing is available like 10 or 15 minutes after this. But again, you have to grind a bunch of money up to buy the bait to be able to afford it. The best plan is to buy like 3/4, I would say. I actually don't know. You buy like 3/4 of the money, or you don't buy. You save up 3/4 of the money you need from like exploits and money glitching and whatnot. And then you buy all the bait, and then as you fill up on fish, you sell the fish back for more bait money. So you don't have to grind all the money right away, because you would still have to throw the fish away or sell the fish. But the third option would be to go in between those two to chapter 3, but that requires you to get out of bounds and fish out of bounds on a rainy day. And I've literally spent hours before trying to get it to rain and get out of bounds at the same time. And yeah, that's not worth it. That's a giant waste of time. And again, I would do the other option. I've done the other option where you go a little further into the game and you fish at the other place where you buy the bait, because it's faster. And I not only know it's faster, but like I've gotten better at it. However, I've done that. And other people have done that. This is like the last remaining fishing challenge that I know of that hasn't been done. It's not even my favorite. It's bad. This is bad. The main reason I want to like finally have this done is so that I can have the novelty of, and I hate that. I hate novelty things. But having the novelty of saying that I've done it and being like, hey, this is the way you should do it. I know you want to do it that way, but let me just tell you, don't, please, for both our sake. The only time you should be grinding here, like hard grinding, is if you're not getting the Nonky you need. But again, it's still not worth it. Just move on in the game, and then like you can buy different bait to try to catch a Nonky in Palm Brinks. And like it's expensive because you don't have Fabio to buy the petite fish and catch specifically gobblers, but like you can teleport. It's not as good, but you can get it done, and then eventually you'll catch a Nonky. But again, I think this only applies to like 0.5% of gamers. I don't even think I don't even know. I don't even think 1% of gamers grind this hard. The achievement is to get 25 in all the stats. Max is 100. So, like, the hard achievement doesn't even require you to get close to max stats. Oh, but speaking of your maxing luck and making notes, there was somebody who had the genius idea of using a cheat engine to pause time and catch the same species of fish over and over and over so that they could replicate the like range of fish and stuff like that. And then since it was like the time was paused, the RNG should be the same. I was thinking about doing that with some save states, but the key, I think, to that research is to use the biggest fish possible, because it'll have the largest range of, like, size variability. And by doing that, I think you'll actually be able to see a larger variance in the numbers, because they did it on a small fish, and the small fish have weird number ranges, where, like, you can have the longest fish possible with the lightest weight, but, like, the biggest fish possible, you can't have certain weights with certain lengths. Like, you can't have the shortest fish possible with the heaviest fish. It's just not possible. It has to be a certain length to be a certain weight. And I think that's where they kind of ruin their research. Because, again, we don't have proof of this, but, like, there could be entire tiers of fish that aren't possible of catching. Oh, dang. Is this the first time that you've ever not hit a goal? You normally hit one of the goals and then wrap up oh, 29. Pretty good. Pretty small. You normally hit at least one of the goals. No. Oh, wait. Where they went. Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. I misread that. I thought it was okay. Yeah, my bad. I thought you were still trying to get to 1250. It's like, dang. Normally you hit something. Dang, so nice. You got a shiny... Well... What? Did you skip it? Did you end up skipping it? You know, I'm not gonna... I'm kind of sad. I almost didn't want to say this. I was gonna say I'm not gonna say it, but then when you say that, it's even worse. I probably would have thrown a Pokeball at it, and then if it didn't catch it, just reset. All I got was depression. No. Why? You got a shiny. I hung out with you for like 3 days and we went shiny-less. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh god, I don't know what to do now. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. Oh, the Void got the shot. Yeah. I haven't done that in a long time. My first ever, like, shiny hunt, I did technically kill the shiny when Gen 6 was hot. When X and Y was hot. I was... I hope I don't get in trouble on Twitch for this. Whoring myself out on Instagram. Whoring myself out. Any trades I could make, I was trying to make. Because I had gotten all of the Pokemon in the Pokedex. So, like, I had trade bait. And I was trying to whore myself out to try and get a friend Safari that was foreign and had Dittos in it. And I remember I finally got one, I think. I'm trying to remember this correct. I'd have to check the friend Safari to make sure. But at one point, I was checking a friend Safari, and I came across a shiny Teddy Ursa. And I crit it. I crit the thing and killed it, and it bummed me out. But it's alright. I didn't like Gen 6 Teddy Ursa and Ursa. It's not bad, it's just not my favorite. Gen 2 Teddy Ursa and Ursaring are my favorite, though. Lick, Feint Attack, Strength usually. Strength's really good. You know, it's hard to argue with that. Hyper Beam's better, but it's hard to argue with Strength. And then a filler move. Oh my god. Ursaring's so fun. The coverage, bro. Feint Attack and Lick. Lick's not the best. I'm not gonna say Lick's the best. But, like, people in PvE, man, People sleep on Lick and Mud Slap. It's usually just enough damage and disruption on the first turn that you can turn 2 easy and just sweep. But, like, again, it's PvE, so, like, you can just gain 5 levels and kill him in 1 hit. But get off my back. I like the animations. I play with animations on. Although Gen 3, I'm gonna be honest, Gen 3 does not have my favorite battle animations. I think Gen 4 has the worst ones. I don't know why I say that, but, like, I just distinctly remember when that game came out, seeing Shadow Claw and, like, the little red orbs and being like, what is this? But, like, looking back on it, it's kind of edgy. But, like, I just remember thinking, like, what is this? But, no, Gen 2 is just my favorite. I think Gen 2 is the best generation of Pokemon. Are the games bad? Yeah. Oh my god. Do not look at the special Pokeballs. Just don't. Just don't. They don't even do anything. The only ones that, like, function are useless. Like, I mean, I guess you can use the Heavy Ball to catch Lugia, but, like, just, you might as well use the duplication glitch. But, I mean, I guess if you're not going to use that, the Heavy Ball does have a function for catching Lugia and Snorlax, but, like, I think that's it. Because the Moon Ball catches Pokemon that evolve by Burn Heal. The Fastball works on, I think, Grimer? Because it's supposed to work on Pokemon that flee, but it only works on, like, a certain type. Oh, no, I think it's Grimer, Magnemite, and Meowth, maybe? I'd have to recheck. But out of all the Pokemon that can flee, is it Grimer and Tangela? Okay. It might be Magnemite as well, but I could be wrong on that. Ooh, 6446. Love to see it. Makes the OCD happy. Okay. I do remember one of them being in Team Rocket Base. The only reason I think I'm 100%, I feel so confident on Magnemite, is because I wanted to do the shiny Miltank farm when Dominique started it originally, because Miltank's a blue Pokemon. But again, I gave up on that because, yeah. Oh. Okay, I remember Tangela being one of, or not Tangela, Magnemite being one of them, because it was like, okay, I'll stock up on fastballs, because if I ever see a shiny Magnemite, I'm getting it. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I have that memory. I would love a shiny Miltank, bro. Am I wrong? It happens. Oh, sick. Well, you know what? Sometimes I should have confidence. I don't, but sometimes. What color is Grimer and Muck? Are they green? I almost want to make a fucking green team. Oh, Tangela's green. Green too. Ooh. Plus Espeon. Could do a Machamp. I don't have trading. Oh, that hurts so bad. I think I'm gonna get a 3DS or like one of the foldable 2DSs or whatever. I think I'm gonna mod it so that I can get well, I guess I should just get all of them. There wouldn't be any reason to not get all of them and like trade. I was gonna say I'll get silver so that I can get my Aeroblast Lugia finally, but there'd be no reason in not getting all of them. And then, oh dude, honestly, I would probably restart. Well, I don't know if I'd restart my Professor Oak challenge, but I would definitely do a Crystal playthrough where I redid the challenge of getting all the shinies that I didn't get. Because, like, I'm so sad I didn't get Snorlax. I'm sad I didn't get shiny Tyrogue from the Odd Egg. There's so many shinies that I'm sad I didn't get. But again, when you're doing the Professor Oak challenge and you decide to shiny hunt, you screw yourself. Like, Sudowoodo. I wanted shiny Sudowoodo so bad. But, like, oh my god. Yeah. But like Sudowoodo in Gen 2 Professor Oak challenges, it locks off so much, man. It's one of those things that as soon as you unlock Sudowoodo, you're just like, yes, I'm free. And I regret it so hard. Sudowoodo's not even that great, but like, it's just, again, I can't go back. You don't get a second shot. Yeah, and Eevee was the last one before Celebi that I was just like, bro, I don't want to do this, but if I don't get shiny Eevee, I can't look at myself in the mirror. And then I think it only took me like a month. And the craziest part is I did the touchscreen resets. Like, that's how I reset for it. But I did the Eevee resets where I checked for like HP values and stuff, and if it was male, and it only took me like 2 months. And then, dude, duplicating that Eevee into each shiny form, oh, so good. I didn't even want them, but like, it feels so good to have them. Flareon, Jolteon, don't give a shit. But I did not realize that Espeon and Vaporeon would actually become 2 of my favorite Pokemon to just dick around with. I'd have never gotten them. I would have never bothered farming another shiny Eevee for Espeon and Vaporeon. Umbreon was the one I was after. I'm doing a blue-themed team. So Espeon and Vaporeon were not on the agenda. But I did the duplication glitch, and I got them, and I realized, wow, I was sleeping on these bad boys. Also, the fact that I could get my Eevee to max happiness and then duplicate it and get Espeon and Umbreon at the same time was like peak. It was so nice. But, ooh, sorry, I just smacked the microphone. I hope that wasn't loud. But, oh my gosh, man. I do wish Umbreon's back sprite was better. Oh, that's good. Umbreon's back sprite is not my favorite. But, oh, it's so good. I love Umbreon. Ooh, Dragonite has the green color. Excellent. Ooh. Gen 2 Dragonite, Extreme Speed, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Outrage. Beautiful. Oh. Oh, shoot, we're at 2 hours. Okay, I'm supposed to get up and move. Wow, that flew by. Thank you for hanging out. Wow, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That 2 hours flew by. Although, that's scary, because if I wasn't paying attention to my clock, I would not have noticed and probably I would have taken a break in 15 minutes because I would have hit the 7-hour mark for stream. And that's how my legs get, like, really stiff, and then I stand up, and it's like, oh, my legs hurt. And then I have to go, like, lay down and stretch for, like, an hour to get my legs to not be all jacked up. So, I'm glad I saw that. Oh, oh, we're so close. Okay, we're gonna finish that. We're gonna finish that because we're so close. And I said if I can get another stat to 100 before the 720 mark, we are cooking. And we are... Oh, we're 40 minutes ahead right now then. Okay. So I can take a... Okay. That's good. That's good. Ooh, that's good. We're 40 minutes ahead. So including like the 30-ish, 40 minutes I said I had wasted, plus the 40 minutes it takes to get here, if we're ahead by 40 minutes, oh dude, that's good. We have this. Oh, I feel good. This isn't a perfect run, but it's what I need. This is good enough. Oh, this is excellent. And the reason I locked in so hard was because I found 2 coins in the dungeon, and the coins give you weapon abilities. And the 2 weapon abilities I got are super helpful. They're not the best, but the best ones can be gotten in other ways. The ones that I got are actually usable in other ways. Like, I got the bullseye coin, and the bullseye coin can be used to make one of the best ride pod weapons in the game. And it's not necessary, but it's one of those things that, like, I never plan on making it because you can't choose to get a bullseye coin. It's just random. And I got one, so I can make it. And that's cool. So we're going to do that. There might actually be some cool shenanigans to figure out with that. So that'll be really cool. And then I got a healing coin. And the healing coin isn't the best, but there's no weapon that you can make with the healing effect on it. You can make absorb through the Dark Viper, but healing is kind of just, you gotta work for it. So I got a healing coin and a bullseye coin, and it's like, wow, that's really good. But again, if this turns out to not be a good playthrough, because, like, for some reason when I started the playthrough on whatever today is, the map generation's bad, I'll just restart. I'll start another playthrough. I'll look for a playthrough with good map generation. The key is that I finally finish this challenge here, because I don't want to ever do this again. Because I want to have, not the authority, but the ability to be like, it's not worth it. Please do not spend your time doing it. If you want to know what it looks like, this is what it looks like. Go somewhere else. See, FOMO start, and I just read the comment about FOMO starter, sorry. Starter FOMO isn't even, like, that bad for me, simply because starters lock you out of so much of the game, and so do, oh, goddammit, we're, son of a bitch. So do trainer IDs, but the key with trainer IDs is unless you're playing in a specific generation, you actually don't even get to see the starter you're looking at. Unless you want to. So, like, I mean, it's dirty to not even look at the starter, but you don't have to. Alright, we're gonna do these last 5, and then I'm gonna take the break. Because then we can get 100, and then I can move on and be happy with myself when I take the break. I'll be able to, like, actually relax taking the break. The question is, and I'm gonna think about this while I'm on break, do I want to take the risk and level up a stat I don't believe in, because the stat I do believe in will make it take longer each cast, and that'll add time. But again, if I'm catching, and I'm almost certain that increasing flight will help me catch bigger fish, that should alleviate the time. If I'm catching bigger fish worth more points, that should alleviate the time of casting out. But I don't know that for certain. But again, if I'm right and it does alleviate it, the sooner I do it, the better. So, yeah. That's a tough call. I think I'm gonna go for flight. Because if what I know is true, leveling up flight first will give me a chance at catching a record fish. So if it is possible, having resilience, grip, and flight maxed while I'm going for luck and strength will give me a chance to potentially set a world record. And if I'm right about the points being better, I'll level up faster. If I'm wrong, it will add some time. But we're ahead, so it'll kind of just even out, and then we can do luck, and it'll either take away some time, and we'll be back, or we'll just finish out, and it'll suck. But if I don't do it, we're just going to keep going at the same pace, and that's good, but I'm not going to know. And again, I've done luck, and I'm not convinced it helps at all. But I know flight makes the fish, at least the range, bigger. I don't know if it makes the fish bigger, but the range bigger. I don't have proof, but I believe it. I'm just not confident if they're going to be big enough to compensate for the extra cast. So that's where things get a little fuzzy, a little hairy. So we'll have to find... Oh, shoot. Forgot to actually switch. So we'll have to find out. But again, if I am right, and that it's going to speed things up and make things... Oh, wait. Yeah, shoot. We're good. Right? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I said... Alright, so we're 30 minutes ahead. Still good. That's still good. I can still take a break right now and be real proud of myself. Alright, so YouTube, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.